I'm Terry Hutchins from AllHoosiers.com, along with Justin Albers and Ben Wargle from BadgerNation.com, our other scout site, where we're at Assembly Hall. Indiana knocks off number 3 Wisconsin 75-72. Some people thought that this was a possibility, but at the same time, Indiana really had to play its most complete game maybe of the year to get this one done.
Yeah, I mean, they hadn't won against Wisconsin since 2007, 12 in a row. Tom Crean had never beaten Bo Ryan, so you come into it thinking this is probably Bo Ryan's best team at Wisconsin, or one of them, number 3 in the nation. They're loaded offensively and defensively, and Indiana goes down 52-42 early in the second half. You're kind of thinking, here we go again. Wisconsin sits on the ball, grinds out possessions. Indiana, with its youth, turns it over and the game's over, and it really didn't go that way. Indiana went to a different lineup. Stan Robinson played, Troy Williams sat the bench down the stretch, and Indiana got big baskets going to the rim. Robinson and Farrell, Noah Vonleh got a big rebound off a free throw miss that tied the game when they were down by 2, and then another basket late. So they got timely baskets, and I think the key was they didn't settle for that many three-pointers. They routinely attacked the basket and rarely settled.
Yogi couldn't hit anything. He was 2 for 9 in the first half. He's 10 for 24 in the game. He misses his first 7 three-pointers and yet looks completely confident shooting the 8th one and knocks that one down. He says afterwards, well, if I was going to make one, that was a good one to make. But I mean, just talk about him and how far his game has come.
Well, I mean, it's clear we've seen an evolution of his game this year, not only because he makes the shots, but at the time he makes them. I mean, it's 65 all, 0 for 7 from 3, like you said. He takes one that wasn't really a set shot or one that was wide open. He took a dribble in and then kind of back out and shot it. And then he hit a jump shot from the middle of the lane and 2 free throws late that were really big. So he didn't make a ton of shots, but he made shots when they mattered most. And I think that's what's really growing about Yogi as a player. He's really evolving into their clutch player, and they haven't really had one up to this point in the season.
Ben, when it was 52-42, I mean, it did look like the tide had kind of changed or turned, and things are really kind of falling into place for Wisconsin. Were you surprised when Indiana goes on that 12-0 run there?
Not hugely surprised, because you kind of look at this Wisconsin team. They hadn't been tested in this kind of way on the road in the Big Ten before. I mean, their only road win in the Big Ten has been Northwestern. And you kind of look at what Indiana did, come out in the box and won, just doing some different things that really just Wisconsin was playing with fire all game long. When you allow 52 points in the paint against an Indiana team or against any team, that's not a recipe for success. And Trayvon Jackson admitted, too, that kind of the way the game was being called kind of, prevented them from being as aggressive as they wanted to with Farrell and doing different things. I mean, Wisconsin only shot 4 free throws in this game, and that's really not Bo Ryan's recipe for success either. And just you look at what Wisconsin did offensively in this game. I mean, all 5 stars in double figures, over 50% from the floor. That's usually what Wisconsin could do that, they win ball games, and just didn't happen tonight just because of their lack of post defense in this game. Indiana played great, and they needed to get this win. But you're right. I mean, kind of when they're at 52-42, you kind of got the sense, okay, maybe Wisconsin now is going to start to pull away. But in Assembly Hall, I mean, yes, Wisconsin's won here 5 times in a row entering tonight, but this is a tough place to play, and Wisconsin finally was playing with fire long enough that they got burned.
Trayvon Jackson clearly seemed to try to take over in the second half and got a lot of his 21 points there. I think he got 14. He had 5 at halftime, so whatever that is, 16 points in the second half. But it seemed like Ben Brust struggled a little bit more than he usually does. I'm guessing this wasn't one of his better efforts.
Yeah, a lot of guys kind of struggled too. I mean, you look at the production Wisconsin offensively, you would think that this was one of those perfect nights. And Sam Decker really struggled too. He got in double figures. It kind of went in spurts for this team. Josh Gosser early was the guy, 9 points in the first half. Then Trayvon Jackson, like you mentioned, scored I think 11 of Wisconsin's first 13 or something like that. And then Sam Decker just wasn't there all night too. Ben Brust, like you mentioned, hit some shots but didn't hit a lot of the big shots that we're used to. And then Frank Kaminsky kind of late took over. Wisconsin just didn't get that balance from the bench. They only had 6 bench points in this game. Nigel Hayes really looked out of sorts, and really his first Big Ten challenge. Same with Bronson Koenig. And that's something down the stretch Wisconsin's going to have to figure out, how deep in their bench can they go? Where's the confidence in that bench going forward? But you're right. Just a lot of guys played well. They didn't play well enough in order to get this win.
In Indiana's first 11 wins, not a signature win. Washington on a neutral court. I don't know if you call it that, beating Penn State on the road. but this is clearly the signature win that this team and this program really needed moving forward. So Indiana's back in action Saturday against Northwestern here. Check allhoosiers.com and badgernation.com tonight for lots of coverage on the Indiana-Wisconsin game, and we'll see you next time.